Now the next thing to get to is there's an easy way to get all this stuff. I want you guys to be able to do this to calculate any of these values using the functions built into Excel. But there's another way to go about this. The trick is you got to get an add-in. So I'm going to go to the File menu and Options, way down here at the bottom. And there's a thing called add-ins, again, kind of close to the bottom. And Excel add-ins, kind of close to the bottom. You know, they make it hard to find. So you want to select Analysis Tool Pack. Solver is useful. The ones I've checked off are useful. Not necessary for this class at this time. This one is what we're going for. And it comes, I don't know why it's not just built into the software, but you have to add it in later, but it's a freebie for you. Okay, let's add it in. Now, we just go to, here's the Data tab. So here's the Home tab. Go to the Data tab. Go to Data Analysis. Click, 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 click. You got a ton of it. More than you want to know about. As soon as it loads up, there it is. Okay. So all sorts of statistical stuff, regression, etc. Regression can be kind of useful to you, by the way. You do have histogram. We're going to talk about that in a few minutes. I'm not going to go through the data analysis histogram. I'm going to use the chart that you can get from the insert command. It's a lot easier. This is a pain in the derriere. Okay. And what I want now, though, is descriptive statistics. I click OK. Input range. This is the data I want. Output. It's going to go to a new worksheet. Do I want? That's fine. Now, it's got confidence levels for the means. Let's just do the summary, because that's what we're doing now. There's a lot more you can do after you've had a semester-long statistics course, or senior level statistics course, actually. Okay, let's take a look at this. And even then, you don't know everything. Even after a senior level statistics, you're still scratching your head about a lot of things. Believe me, I've been there. I've done that. I have the t-shirt. Okay. So mean, standard error, that's different than standard deviation, by the way. It's smaller. It is the estimate. If you did the mean, if you calculated the mean a whole bunch of times, that's what the standard error becomes. Median, just like we had before. Let's see. Let's take a look at the other sheet. Mean. Wait a minute. Why is the average now? Oh, no wonder. Square deviation from the average. So this is the column we're interested in. 71.57. Same. Standard error is something we haven't studied. You can figure that out when you get to statistics. Basically, standard error is the standard deviation you get if you repeated measurements of means for a lot of different samples, groups of samples. The standard error is smaller than the standard deviation. Okay, mode is still not applicable, just like before. Median is still 74. Standard deviation is still 23 point, whatever it was. There's the standard deviation, 16.23. Was I reading the decimal points? Yes, I was. Okay. Variance 263 some odd. Variance, there's the variance. Same as before. Same as before. All this other stuff you don't have to worry about. You do get the range. Let's see if the range works out. 48? 48. Yay! From the descriptive statistics. Minimum and maximum 47 and 95 and some 501. Do you get that? And count 7. 47, 95, count 7, sum 501, range 48, just like before. I want you especially to know how to do this. You'll probably use this stuff more often. You'll probably use these functions more often than you will descriptive statistics. Yeah, you'll probably use these more often, so I want you to know how to use these. Okay. Histograms. Let's move on to histograms. Let's get some decent data for histograms. Okay, we're going to talk about histograms now. And here's some data, student exam scores. We want to know how it works out. And let's do an insert graph. And I don't want that. I want histograms. There it is, histogram. This is what's called a Pareto, by the way, a little different. Now, what's going to happen is Excel is going to try its best to pick what it thinks it wants. And let's see, we have 30 students. So it's looking at there. It's looking at the data 1 to 30. It's not there. It's looking at this column. It's not looking at this column. So let's use this column. There. And we're going to insert the graph now. Insert histogram. There. That's more like it. This is the easiest way to do a histogram. You can read in the book about how to do it the other way. You can change things on this histogram. Let's double click that. Double click. Come on. I don't want to format the axes. I want to format the plot area. No, I don't want to do that. Let's see. I thought it was format axes. My Excel is acting a little slow. Number of bins. Yes, it is format axes. I just happened to miss that. I wanted to make, let's make it 10 bins, for example. There. So we can see what happens when we have 10 bins of data. The data is spread out over 10 intervals, and it tells you the intervals down here. They're kind of weird boundaries, but that's okay. It gives you the general trend. It looks kind of like a normal distribution. That's the idea of the histogram. Now, there's something called the Pareto too, and what that does, let's take a look at that. It's especially good for a manufacturing line. It asks, and actually Pareto needs 2 values. Now this is kind of bad data for Pareto, but at least I want to demonstrate how to produce a chart. What it does is it takes the highest and puts it on the far left. There we go. And let's do this. Come on, you silly thing. Number of bins, 10. You can change the bin width to 1 or something like that too, or 10, or whatever you want to. So let's do that. So it's asking, it puts the, dang it, it goes from 1 to 30 again. Let's get rid of this chart. I accidentally selected the student number, not just the student scores. What is the most frequent range of scores? That's what the Pareto is going to do. And in a manufacturing line, for example, there's the most frequent range, second most frequent, third, fourth, and fifth, and so on. You might have like a metallization defect here is the most frequent. Anyway, we'll get to that in a second. And this is a good time to end this video and go on to